Well, hi, my name is Kathy Evans, and I am your doTERRA Gold Wellness Advocate, which means I am here to support your essential oil journey. So, I'm going to talk about two things today. Two things. All right, one, I'm going to talk about how to help my customers who are not building a business get rewarded with doTERRA with cash to pay for your products up to $600. That's pretty good. And that doesn't even include your reward points. So stay tuned. The second thing we're going to talk about is I'm going to share about an essential oil blend that protects our body, supports the health of our cells, our estrogen, progesterone, cleansing our gut and organs, reducing inflammation, brain health, cognition, and emotional transformation. This is a daily blend to take internally, apply topically, or even diffuse. Now, I collected this information from Jade Baldwin, and I have references if you need them. So, DDR Prime is an essential oil blend that should be used regularly by everybody in the family. Especially, think about all the toxins we're exposed to in our environment. I mean, everyone's using hand sanitizers, they're using antibacterial soaps, and they have triclosan in it. So, we need this. So, DDR Prime, how does it do all those things? That was a big list. Well, this blend actually helps protect the body against oxidative stress and cellular stress also. So, in other words, like when we're breathing, that's a cellular stressor. We are oxidizing when we're eating, and then on top of all the other toxic stressors. So, DDR is damaged DNA repair. So what it does is it supports the three jobs of all the cells. One, healthy duplication. So that's just the creation of the cell. Number two, that would be specialized function. That cell, is it going to be a skin, or is it going to be liver, or is it going to be eye? And then you've got three, that's self-destruction. That sounds awful, doesn't it? Apoptosis. But every cell has a cell death after it's duplicated. So we want to just make sure it's not duplicating if it's an unhealthy cell. So that's the part what DDR is part of. So we are exposed to lots of toxins, as I had said before, just daily living. And then when our cells oxidize, well, they don't function the way they should, because then they start to mutate. In some sort or way, it'll mutate, and the disease would be called cancer or tumor and other similar names. And I'm going to call it cellular malfunction. That can be breast, it can be cervix, it could be prostate, skin, lungs, bladder, kidneys, it could be in the mouth, or any other part of the body where it chooses to manifest the disease. And with proper diet, which is what I always ask everybody to just really focus on, that, get your rest, and then a mental change. We all have to be kind to ourselves. DDR supports the cells and the DNA to function as it should. So inside of DDR is clove, thyme, wild orange. These essential oils are really strong antioxidants, and they protect us from those daily stressors I was talking about, the daily habits that we have. It also includes essential oils from frankincense, lemongrass, some are savory, neroli for cellular protection. Now, neroli is a type of tea tree. So each of these oils have lots and lots of research showing how they protect the cell. So when I look at the Modern Essential book, and I can look up each one of these oils, and I can just look and say, oh my gosh, all together they together can really support the body. So I'm going to really go over some of the oils and what they do. Like frankincense. We've been talking a lot about frankincense this month, because every December we get, if we do a 200 PB order, we get a free 15 ml frankincense. And so frankincense gives a lot of emotional balance. It's great for the nervous system, immune system. It supports the skin. It's anti-aging. It's an anti-inflammatory. We have a great story for that. It supports brain health, arthritis, It's an anti-tumor. Remember that, anti-tumor. It's for hyperactivity and impatience. And then we have wild orange. Wild orange is for digestion, for emotional balance, for immune support, skin, and anxiety and insomnia. Use that with breathe when you go to sleep at night. Diffuse that. Then we have Lycia, and Lycia is in the same family as lemongrass. It's antibacterial, it's cleansing, it's energizing, it's an antifungal, remember that. It's antiviral, helps with allergies, asthma, throat, heart, respiratory, and immune. And then we have lemongrass, again, two different forms, and that's immune, cholesterol. Now we use bergamot and clove for cholesterol. Cassia is a good one also. Charlie horse, bladder, frozen shoulder, so any sprains or ligaments, it helps get that oxygen in. It's great for Hashimoto's, lymphatic drainage. It strengthens the retina. All right, then we have thyme. Thyme is an antioxidant. It's antibacterial. It helps with blood clots. It's an antifungal. That's the second antifungal. Helps with MRSA, mold, hair loss, pleurisy, pneumonia, and hormones. And then we have clove. Clove is a really popular one. It's one of the highest antioxidants. It's an antiseptic. It's an analgesic. So if I stubbed my toe or I broke it, I would be putting that on it, or a bee sting. Antibacterial, antifungal. It's very popular for abscessed teeth, any pain in the jaw. It's been used for centuries. Antifungal, again, antiparasitic, anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor, antiviral, immune support, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, blood clots again, same as thyme. Antifungal, that's the third antifungal. Hodgkin's wounds, macular degeneration, osteoarthritis, thyroid, and toothache, as I said before. And then we have neroli, which is in the family of tea tree. And we know tea tree is good for earaches, cold sores, dry itchy eyes, athlete's foot, immune, respiratory, muscles, boils, skin, chicken pox, RSV, shingles, MRSA, and ringworm. That's a lot, and that's all together here in our fabulous DDR. Now, it comes in two forms. The first is the DDR Prime in a 15 ml, and this one you can just drop it in your water. You can put it in your smoothie, make a roller ball for topical. I would dilute it because it does have thyme and clove in it. And then we have the DDR Prime gel caps. These are so convenient to take, go down past your gut. It works systemically, so it works on the whole body, all the cells, not just topically. All right. So how does it do all this? So we're going to talk about the 10 different things that it does. So first one, or on the body, we're going to talk about the body and the 10 things. All right, first one it does is cellular protection. So they recommend 4 to 6 drops in a capsule or 2 to 4 soft gels taken internally daily to help with healthy cellular response and protection. Now remember, DNA does not determine your health. You get that? It's your epigenetics. It's how you live your life now. That determines how your DNA expresses itself and then what is passed on to your children. Not the DNA you inherit, but how you live your life and create your epigenetics on top. All right, 2, health cell apoptosis. Remember, we talked about cell death. 4 to 6 drops or 2 soft gels internally 2 times a day. Consider diluting DDR Prime, like I said, when you're applying topically. Do it a 1-to-1 with fractionated coconut oil. So every cell that is beyond repair especially needs to self-destruct when mutated. We do not want that to be reproduced over and over again. Then that just makes it sicker, and that means that cell malfunction. All right, so there's a story that Jade shares about her uncle, and he had a tumor under his chin like this, the size of the fist. And the doctors didn't want to work on him. He was too old. They were afraid that it'd be worse. So she thought, okay, cellular malfunction. The cells were duplicating wrong. So she sent him 2 bottles of each, the gel caps and the 15 mil. She said, dilute it, rub it on the tumor under his chin a few times a day, maybe did more. And then he said, take the gel caps to work on the rogue cells internally that were all through the body. And in 6 months, that tumor was the size of a pea. So I love testimonies because you think, oh, I'm going to do this, but what's going to happen? Consistency is the key. All right, number 3, estrogen and progesterone. So when our hormones are out of balance, when progesterone is low, estrogen is high because progesterone controls estrogen. You're going to have cellular malfunction. So you do 4 to 6 drops or 2 soft gels internally twice a day. And so we're talking about things that, we're not talking about preventive. We're talking when you have some challenges here. So it helps, this blend helps cells clean up, clear out that excess xenoestrogen. You know, xenoestrogen is your fake estrogens caused by Teflon and plastics and things like that. A lot of things. You can look that up. So that will block everything and cause problems. And much of your hormonal imbalance is actually caused by that. So what it does is it just cleans that off so that your natural estrogen that you're absorbing can be absorbed into the cell. So Thyme is in the DDR. It also helps make this hormone called pregnenolone. I finally learned how to say that word. But pregnenolone makes 2 things. It makes cortisone and it makes progesterone. Guess what gets most of the pregnenolone? Right, your cortisone, because that, stress comes first. If you're being chased by a lion, it doesn't care about reproduction, right? So reducing our stressors, which we know, as we talked about here, wild orange, frankincense, are going to lower your stressors. So Thyme helps with that. All right, 4th one, detoxing and cleansing. So DDR is part of our cleansing program. So if you've ever done our cleansing program, you'll see that in there with all the other products, including the Lifelong Vitality. And of course, they like you to do it at seasonal changes, but a lot of people like to do that in January because they're making new resolutions and they want to cleanse their body and get on a new diet. So we'll talk about that later. But what you would be doing for detoxing and cleansing is 4 to 6 drops or 2 soft gels internally twice daily to cleanse the whole body, especially the gut. So remember when I read about the different oils, what they were doing, they were anti-parasitic, antifungal, so they're cleaning everything out. Thyme cleanses the bacteria, the candida, the viruses. This blend of oils, like even clove, they're powerful antioxidants. They're going to stop the free radicals from damaging the cells. So Jade said that when her kids go into a chlorinated pool, after she washes them off, she will dilute the DDR and put it on the bottom of their cells to protect them and their cells. All right, number 5, lemongrass. It helps with inflammatory response, and frankincense that are in the DDR. They're both strong anti-inflammatories. They not only cleanse the body, but they help with a healthy inflammatory response. So again, combine 4 to 6 drops of DDR Prime. Do you see the pattern there? It seems like it's the same. 3 to 4, then, okay, so when you have 4 to 6 drops of DDR Prime and 3 to 4 drops of copaiba oil together. So here she adds copaiba oil because that really, it's so much like frankincense in many ways. But you put it together, you massage it on the area of concern. You can also make a roller ball with the DDR Prime and the copaiba. But you can do this combination 2 to 4 times daily for inflammation response. All right, so then number 6, that is brain and cognitive function. All right, so, I haven't talked about this for a while, but I remember how a lot of parents were using DDR in a roller ball diluted, and they were rubbing it on the back of their children's spine. These kids could not find their voice. They couldn't speak. They were getting therapy. They might have been autistic, but they couldn't express themselves. And they started doing this. And what the parent did was she would play a game to get them to cooperate. She would write a letter or a number on their back a few times a day, and they'd have to guess it. So that was a great way to get it on. And then also ADHD, of course we know there are calming oils in there. So also for dementia or Alzheimer, this is really very, very helpful for cleansing all the garbage in the brain and helping with rogue cells and things like that. So, what I didn't say is when these children are working on with their therapist, they do better. They improve when they're getting it put on their spine. So 1 to 2 soft gels of DDR Prime, 2 to 3 times a day. Again, we're working on challenges. This blend, again, cleans the toxins out of the brain and encourages proper function. Number 7, oral cleaning. So how many of you have ever done oil pulling? You take a spoon of virgin coconut oil or whatever oil you want to use, put 2 to 3 drops of DDR Prime onto that, swish it in your mouth 10 minutes, some people do 20 minutes. When you're all done, spit it in the trash can. You don't want to put it in the sink. The oil pulling, what it does is it cleanses the tissues in your mouth and your gum. So if you have any concerns about your gums, your mouth, anything like that, this is a great way to do it. It also might even whiten your teeth and detox the rest of your body because your blood circulates every 3 minutes through your mouth. So your body's getting this DDR for cleansing. And then 8 is throat problems. You can gargle 2 to 3 drops of DDR Prime, and I did that. I put it in a little bit of water and I gargled today, and then I swallowed it, and that's going to soothe any occasional sore throats or if you're any concerned about any cellular malfunction. Number 9 would be digestion. All right, so I mention this a lot. There's so many young people that have autoimmune gut problems. They're on lots of medications. And they're just, young, in their 20s. They start out very young. I attribute it to Splenda or high fructose corn syrup because I didn't grow up on that, but these kids did. So they're constantly exposed to it, and now they're coming out with studies saying, oh my gosh, this is what's causing the problem. But the doctors are always behind on everything new. So DDR would be great for any autoimmune issues. So we're talking IBS, Crohn's, any gut issues that you might have. When there's lots of toxic cells, lots of candida, which we talked about, the fungus, the thrush, and things like that, or any inflammation. 2 to 4 soft gels of DDR Prime and Digestin internally. You can use the gel caps, you can put a drop in your water. That helps when you have prolonged digestive imbalances. So consider using also Terrazymes. I think that should be a daily habit. It helps cleanse everything, repair tissue, get all that garbage that collects in the joints and everywhere. And so do that. Okay, number 10, clean skin. All right, so you can dilute 1 to 1 DDR Prime and fractionated coconut oil. You can rub it on the skin imperfections like you have brown spots, skin tags, and just repeat that 4 to 5 times a day and just keep doing it until, it takes care of the problem. All right, so that was the 10 physical things that it covers, which is a lot. I mean, this is a daily habit. It's in our daily habits kit. It's in our cleanse kit, so it's very, very important. I also had been told that when you're having trouble with the LLV, taking the Lifelong Vitality in the beginning, because it's kind of detoxing your gut and it's a lot of nutrients that are being absorbed, do the DDR first and then start the Lifelong Vitality, and then you're going to see a big difference. All right, so let's talk about the mind. how the DDR affects the mind. Remember I told you at the beginning that DDR Prime is the oil of transformation and restoration. So according to the Essential Oil Emotions book, which I refer to a lot, the negative emotions that DDR Prime helps is to release is actually feeling debilitated, discouraged, toxic, stuck, burdened by family patterns. And then the positive properties that result when you release that would be repairing, balance, transforming, rebirth, vitality, healthy, and open to change. So sometimes years and years of negative, unsupportive, self-defeating thinking causes an immense buildup of problems physically and emotionally. And I am not immune to that, I'll tell you. I catch myself all the time. Why am I thinking those negative things? So DDR Prime helps you let go, simplify life, and you're going to be able to let go of negative relationships, thinking patterns, cultural thoughts, habits, and fears. Fears is a big one for me. So DDR Prime can help give you some hope, encouragement to transform your life, no matter how far you may feel that you have fallen. So we can use it aromatically also for emotional changes. And you're thinking, oh, thyme and a clove, diffusing that. Well, Jade came up with a diffuser blend or just an aroma blend called Rebirth and Renew. And she uses 2 drops of Forgive. Now Forgive also has thyme in it and other oils to help you forgive yourself, forgive other people. And then she did 1 drop of DDR. Now you can do that in your hand and inhale it, or you can put it in your diffuser. So this blend's going to help with a bit more humility, faith, hope as we embark on new changes. So her affirmation is, as I connect to my divine path, I allow myself to be reborn, renewed, and filled with hope again. I love and forgive myself fully as I love and forgive others. I have to take a breath. All right, before I move on to spirit, because we're going to do the holistic part, I have to say this disclaimer. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, just to support your body's natural healing process. All right, let's touch on spirit very quickly. So even though we're talking about cells and DNA, we are spiritual beings. So when we deny this, we simply really prolong our own pain and discomforts. So change is possible for us all. Think about that. It is. God has sent us here on earth to change. What makes us remain stuck and debilitated is our own fear and resistance to change that causes us to be stuck. Our own false belief that we're not enough. If you ever think about that, it's just like a dam. It dams our progress. Not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, not skilled enough, We run that through our head when we're tired and we're not eating good. And so when we realize that we have to be fully accountable for our thoughts and our actions, so we stop blaming other people, we let go of resistance, that's where forgive comes in too. Sometimes these false beliefs are also inherited. Did you know that you inherit that? Maybe the thoughts process of your parents or even your grandparents. They're not even our own, and we're like, why am I thinking this? So we can make a choice, what we want to believe. All right, guys, we're now trailblazers. We're creating a new pathway for people who come after us, and maybe even break some of the cycle for our children. So you're going to use DDR. It's also going to help you push through resistance, allow yourself to support change for your sake and for those of your family and members in the past and present. Use it day after day, year after year, and you're going to see many level of changes in your home. And also, when you're grateful, the changes become more permanent. All right, so Jade has one more thing that she talks about, arthritis. So she's a wellness advocate, and she talks about the healing process that's holistic approach of mind, body, and spirit. And other forms of inflammation, including arthritis, would be lupus, osteoarthritis, rheumatism, fibromyalgia, things like that. They're just inflamed joint tissues. So it's thought and I've read that in other books, that arthritic inflammation is the result of living in a critical environment. And many people have shared to me about their spouse or their own life. They have arthritis, they have, you know, sore joints, that they lived in a critical environment, or they're very critical of themselves or other people, and they're very inflexible people, and they're very untrusting. So it could be ourselves, it could be, people around us. So she made this chart, and it kind of walks through the steps of sickness, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, of the flow of energy. So when we hold on to inflexible thinking, it makes our energy inflexible, and we have this energy that flows in our body, and it affects us physically. It robs our body of the healing flow of energy, and then as a result, everything slows down. Our gut slows down, the candida, the fungus, it starts to flourish, and eventually it does travel throughout the other place because it wants to survive. And then, it's a great a place for it to be. Over time, the toxins and the invaders start to accumulate and damage cells, and the candida, goes to the weak areas. Then you start to have joint pain and soreness, which is an inflammatory response to fungus. Fungus releases toxins, and it makes you want to eat more junk, and you feel crabby, and so it feeds it. And it causes autoimmune response. So because there is resistant, stuck energy, it robs that body of being able to heal itself. So here comes the decision. When we decide to fix the problems, trust the divine, we become more flexible, less fearful, we let go, and the energy starts to flow through the body, and the body starts to strengthen itself. The gut gets more energy, the body can eliminate waste completely, including the fungus, and then the fungus can be destroyed. You have less inflammatory response, reduced pain, and stiffness and discomfort is eliminated. So, emotions and spirit, along with trust and gratitude, are part of the healing process of the healing the body. With proper diet, rest, and I said in the beginning, emotional change or mental change, with DDR Prime, it supports the cells and DNA to function as it should. So please reach out to me so I can guide you on how to support your body and your healing process. We can do a wellness checkup and see, what pathway that we can go through to support you. All right, so before I close, doTERRA has a new program called Refer a Friend. So I mentioned that in the beginning. It's so easy to use, and you get cash to pay for your oils, and of course you can get up to $600. Anything after that, you're going to have to report for taxes. So that would be fabulous to get. It gets just put in your account, and you can use it to pay for your taxes, your shipping, your products. So what you do, now every time you go into your account to order, there's always a pop-up, and it says refer a friend, and then you click on it and you copy it, and it says refer a friend, HTTPS, refer a friend, and then it has your ID number on it. What you do is you copy that, you send that link to a friend. It's going to take that friend to a doTERRA shopping site. And when they purchase, 20% of their PV, of their order, gets deposited into your account. That's a great way to pay for your products. And I know some of you are concerned about your finances. And we are also concerned about our health, and worry just makes it worse. So doTERRA has made it so that you can benefit and help you stay healthy with less, having to put out less. So in turn, your friends get 25% off their order for a whole year, and they get fantastic support from our family in their oils journey. So I hope you appreciate that also, because I'm always accessible to support you. All right, so this is a great way to help pay for your products without doing the business. Wouldn't you agree? All right, so New Year's coming up. You guys drive safe and just be happy. And just please reach out to me with any questions. Thank you so much. Bye.